Good morning. I have some updates on, I did a lot of shows in the past couple of weeks about healthcare in America. And a few weeks ago, I did a show on networking and how you got to stay in your insurance network and how that can be sometimes difficult. I told you about the young lady who went to an in-network hospital for an appendicitis, but the surgeon that took her appendix out in that in-network hospital was not part of her network, and she got a $5,000 bill for the surgery, which she had to pay. And the surgeon even took her to collections and garnished her wages. All kinds of fun. Well, it happened again. And this story is even more bizarre, although it had a different ending, and that's why I want to bring it to you. It's a lesson for all of you to learn. Here's the scenario. True story. Two women, both work for the same company. They have the same health insurance plan. They're both pregnant. They are both going to the same hospital in their insurance network to deliver their babies. They delivered their babies a couple weeks apart. They both had epidurals, and they brought their babies home. Everything was great. One woman got a bill from the anesthesiologist who gave her her epidural, $1,600. And she was like, well, okay. Like most of us, which we shouldn't do, I've told you on this show, don't do this, she paid the bill, right? But then she talked to her coworker, her friend, and her coworker said, well, wait, I had an epidural at the same hospital, and I didn't get a bill for the epidural. You need to check this out. The woman did check it out. Turns out they each had different people giving them their epidurals. The one who got the bill, the guy who gave her the anesthesiologist, which I thought the doctor just did it, but anyway, the anesthesiologist who gave the woman who got the bill her epidural at the in-network hospital, the same hospital her coworker got an epidural and didn't get charged for it, this particular anesthesiologist was not in her insurance network. Same insurance as her coworker. And that's why she got the bill. Now, see, this is so many sides of wrong. And let me tell you something. When I saw this story on the news, 1 in 4 people in this country, in America, experience this. You think you're going to the right hospital. The problem is the hospital is employing people knowingly who are not in your insurance network. Now, this lovely woman, she fought that bill. She appealed the bill, and she won. She won. She got her $1,600 back. Here's something you all need to know. There are some states, you're going to have to check, I guess, with your state Department of Health, or I don't know who you even call, probably the insurance czar or whoever, but there are some states that have protections for this very situation because it happens very often. That if you end up in a hospital that's in your network but are treated by any medical professional that is not in your network, that's not on you. That's on the hospital for allowing out-of-network doctors, anesthesiologists, whoever else treats you to be working in their hospital. That's their responsibility. It shouldn't be yours. Okay? So you need to check that out. The other thing is if you are in an emergency situation anywhere in this country, okay? You're driving down the road on your trip to vacation, you get in a car accident, you're unconscious, you are taken to the closest hospital. If this is an emergency, which of course if you're unconscious, it's an emergency. Your loved ones, and they need to know this because you're unconscious, they need to tell the hospital this must be coded as an emergency. If the hospital codes it properly, it doesn't matter if they're part of your insurance network or not. Your insurance has to cover that as if they were in network because this is a life or death emergency. They have to do it. But you need to do your proper work as well. As always, it falls on us, right? But please tell your family members, if I'm ever in an emergency situation and I go to the closest hospital, which of course, again, you drop from a heart attack, you don't want to have to be, first of all, saying, is this hospital in the network? No, take them to this hospital. Or is the doctor that's about to crack my chest open for open heart surgery in my network? You shouldn't have to deal with that kind of crap. And if it's a true emergency and you had no choice, because basically you're dying, then you can make sure that it's coded properly, and you can appeal if they try to send you a bill, and you should be able to win that. You should not have to pay out of your pocket for out-of-network expenses if you are truly in a life or death situation and you don't get to choose where you go because they're trying to save your life. So that's a lesson for all of you. It's unfortunate that in America we have to do that. There is right now a bill that they're trying to make it a federal law that any hospital in your network can only hire doctors, anesthesiologists, people who basically, surgeons who are in your network. They cannot mess with you by saying, well, we're in your network, but we can't guarantee that the person who's taking your appendix out is in our network. No, that's not right. And I'm sorry, that's not our fault as customers of the insurance company, as customers of the hospital. I'm sorry, if I am in excruciating pain and I need my gallbladder out or I need my appendix out right now, I don't think I'm going to stop in the middle of having horrific pain and say, are you in my network? I don't think I'm going to give a shit. Just want the pain to stop. I want the thing out. And I think we all feel like this. You shouldn't have to be constantly questioning if your in-network hospital is employing out-of-network doctors and surgeons and anesthesiologists. That's ridiculous. Do any of you even know if you've had surgery? Do you know who your anesthesiologist was? It's not like they come in and introduce themselves. This woman's giving birth to her child. She's in excruciating pain. She wants the pain to stop. Give me the epidural. Is she really going to stop and question the damn doctor with that beautiful, numbing shot that's going into her spinal cord? Is she really going to stop and ask his name and what network he's in? No, of course not. I never gave birth to a child, but Jesus, it does look painful. Do I have to say sorry to Jesus now? If you saw my comedy routine, you'll get that. If you didn't, go back and watch it. It's really good. It's called Genetically Modified. But really, you're not going to stop in a situation where you are sick and in pain or dying to ask where you are we in network? And you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. I submit to you that this whole shit started with these HMOs back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I refused the HMO when I was working in the 90s. We were offered an HMO and we were offered a more traditional insurance plan. Get this one, $100 a year deductible. $11 a week out of my paycheck for health care. I mean, it was unbelievably great. But I could go anywhere I wanted. They said the HMO was cheaper, like $7.50 a week out of my paycheck. But I said, well, I'm not going to let a corporation like an insurance company tell me what doctor to go to. I think we need to get back to the old ways. If I'm paying insurance premiums and I'm paying a deductible, which is now in the thousands of dollars, nobody has a $100 a year deductible. Anybody I know, anyway. What does it matter what hospital we go to, what doctor we go to? Why should that matter? If I have a pain in my ankle, I shouldn't have to go to the family doctor. I need to go to an ankle specialist, to I don't know what they're called, an orthopedist. I need to have x-rays done. I need to have someone who can actually fix my ankle. The family doctor is just going to say, you need to go see an orthopedist, and then they're going to charge me money. And then some insurance company is going to tell me which orthopedist I can go to. I don't get that. I'm paying you, remember? I'm the one paying. I'm the customer. And if I'm told that such and such, Dr. Smith, best neurologist, best orthopedist, best gastroenterologist in town, that's the person I want to go to. And because I'm paying insurance premiums, my insurance should follow me anywhere I want to go. I think that's something the federal government should make law. That insurance companies have to cover you at any hospital, at any doctor's practice, at any specialist, anywhere. A lot of people in this country travel a lot. We had one insurance company one time, and we were self-employed, that we were not covered if we left the state of Pennsylvania. We weren't covered if we left Lancaster. We were down at the Bay. I'm there 5 months a year. I get hurt. I go to the closest hospital, which is in Elkton, Maryland. I'm paying out of network prices, even if I'm dying. No, see, they expect me when I'm having my heart attack to get in the car, which I don't even have a car during the week, and have someone drive me to Lancaster while I'm having my heart attack. I'll be dead before I get to Lancaster, especially if we hit traffic. That's ridiculous. And then there's something else that came across my desk this week since we did talk about pregnancy and maternity stuff at the beginning of the show. You know, the Today Show has become a mommy and me group. Everybody talks about their kids. Jenna Bush Hager just announced she's pregnant after just taking the new job as the anchor of the 4th hour. Hoda just adopted a baby. Well, now Dylan Dreyer, their meteorologist, has come out, even though she has a nice, healthy young child, Calvin. Yes, I know his name because that's all they talk about is their kids. I know all their kids' names. I don't know their husbands' names, but they always talk about the kids. So Dylan Dreyer has a healthy child. He's, I think, 2 or almost 3. But she wants another baby. In fact, she believes she deserves another baby, no matter what. So she's been very open this past week that she's getting ready to start in vitro fertilization, IVF. And hey, that's her right. It's fine. But here's the problem. She goes on, and I mean, this was a couple days in a row, she was talking about this, and then says that she called the insurance company for the policy they have at NBC, and she was shocked and appalled to hear that they didn't cover IVF in the insurance. But then, all was well because they told her, no, wait. I mean, she was pissed. Well, why don't you cover it? Of course, my question is, why would you cover it? Okay, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So anyway, she did find out that she had to enroll in some other plan. I'm not sure if she has to pay for it. I hope she does, to be honest with you. Here's my problem. In vitro fertilization and being infertile in the first place is not a life-threatening illness. Okay? It's not cancer. You're not going to die if it doesn't get treated. And you're not going to die, believe it or not, if you don't have a child or a second child after you have been blessed with a first child. Now, she's been open about some people saying she's being selfish because she had one child. She should be happy for the blessing God gave her. And if God doesn't want her to have another baby, and if you're a Christian out there and you believe in God, then you should just accept it. God doesn't want you to have another baby, or God doesn't want you to have any babies. I don't believe that insurance companies should pay for anything that does not involve saving someone's life. Okay? I actually don't believe, and believe me, look, I have been criticized and vilified, as many women have. When the Affordable Care Act came out, mostly men were going, oh my God, why should we pay for your birth control? Well, guess what, dudes? You're the ones who like to have sex without any consequences, and you're the ones who don't like to wear condoms, and you're the ones who tell the women you're on the birth control, right? Like it's our responsibility. You expect us to pay for it and use it properly, but you don't want to pay for it to be covered under insurance. We had the religious fanatic bosses who said, I don't want my employees using birth control because my church is against it. Like that has anything to do with working at a craft store or a chicken shop. Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby, whatever the hell it's called. You know what? Insurance, the Affordable Care Act, pays for prostate exams. I don't have a prostate, but it's covered for all you guys out there. Yeah, woo, woo, woo. You want to know if you have prostate cancer, but you don't want to pay for women to get a mammogram as part of your insurance. Okay, great. I'm all for that. How about when I say I don't want to pay for maternity care, for well baby visits, for the women who get pregnant? I don't want that on my insurance policy. Now, let me take you back to when my husband and I were self-employed, self-insured. This was a long time ago, maybe 12, 15 years ago. There was such a thing as a la carte healthcare, health insurance. A guy came to our house and we went over the policy and we said what we wanted covered and what we didn't. And I got to tell you something. At that time, birth control was not covered in any way under the prescription plan. We might get a discount, but it wasn't covered 100%. But birth control did not raise our premiums. Maternity care raises your premiums. It's so expensive. So when we said, because we knew we were never going to have children, and that if I did get pregnant, and I make no apologies for this, I was getting an abortion. My husband and I discussed it. I said I wanted no issues, no fights. It was going to happen. I was not going to be pregnant and take a pregnancy to term. That was me. It's my right. It's my choice. This is not a show about that. So when we told the insurance guy we don't require the maternity part of the insurance policy, our premiums were the lowest ever. For both of us, $400, $500 a month with a $3,000 a year deductible. If we had had maternity care on there, they would have skyrocketed. And that was with me being a smoker. And it was $500 a month with a $3,000 deductible. So if you're going to bitch and moan and groan about, we think that maternity care needs to be covered, but we don't want to pay for mammograms or pap smears or anything else pertaining to women, except when they become birthing ovens and breeders. I know you hate it when I say that, but it's the truth. Or this in vitro fertilization. Once again, I had GoFundMe people come to me and say, contribute to my GoFundMe page so my husband and I can fulfill our dream of becoming parents. You know what? Go adopt a baby. Hoda Kotb has no problem doing it. She got 2 in 2 years, and she's in her 50s. She's not married, and she had breast cancer. If she can do it, you too can do it. Trust me. But I don't see the need for insurance companies to raise our premiums so that people who God made in a way that they cannot get pregnant the old-fashioned way can get pregnant. Because not being able to have children the old-fashioned way or give birth to a child will not kill you. And if you think it's going to kill you, you know what you need on your insurance policy? You need the psychiatric counseling part of the benefits for your insurance policy. Because you're out of your mind if you think of killing yourself because you can't get pregnant or have a baby. I'm sorry. I do feel for people who all they ever dreamed of was having a baby. You know what? I dreamed of a lot of things too that I'm never going to get. but I'm not going to kill myself over it. So you guys can, I'm sure you're going to let me know what you think, but I think it was very selfish to be angry that when she found out that insurance may not cover her IVF. First of all, if you really want to have a baby that bad, then pay for it out of your own pocket. Pay for it out of your own pocket. You know, many of us pay for things out of our own pocket all the time. A lot of times what we pay for out of our own pocket is things that the insurance doesn't cover, but that we have to have because we're in pain. We actually have an illness, and we have to pay for things out of our own pocket to live a normal life. So if you think that you should get insurance money covering something that is not anything to do with your health or your longevity in life or curing pain, I mean actual pain, not the pain in your head that goes, oh, I can't have a baby, oh my God, why me? I'm sorry. Figure it out. Go do a GoFundMe account. Good luck. You know, do a fundraiser, make cupcakes, sell candy bars, sell subs, trying to pay for that in vitro fertilization. Here's the other problem with in vitro fertilization. It doesn't always work. And it's expensive. I think it's like $15,000 for one round. It might even be more. And for insurance to cover that for a non-life-threatening thing without any guarantee it's going to work and you're going to get a healthy baby at the end of it, well, I think that's a waste of insurance money, and it makes our premiums go up. So at the end of the day, I say let's go back to a la carte health insurance. The Affordable Care Act screwed all that. But I think we should go back to it. I don't think that a 54-year-old woman like myself who is done with menopause, can't get pregnant, doesn't need birth control, I don't think I should have maternity care on my insurance policy. Thanks to President Obama, I do. But I'm paying for something that I know for a fact I will never use. I don't need that. And in all fairness, I don't need the birth control shit either, but that doesn't raise the premiums. The only reason some employers fight the birth control thing is because of their religious fanaticism that they think they can force their employees to have babies they don't want by refusing them affordable birth control. Which, of course, isn't working because their employees, if they get pregnant, they're just going to go get an abortion anyway. Wonder how the boss would feel about that. I need a couple days sick leave. You didn't give me birth control now. I got to go get surgery. I'm sure it's happened. Or they're at Planned Parenthood explaining to Planned Parenthood my boss is a religious asshole and won't give me birth control on my insurance that I pay for out of my paycheck. And then Planned Parenthood gives them their birth control. So it's not like these bosses are stopping anyone from using birth control. It's not like men who say, oh my God, we don't want to pay for women to use birth control. Well, then use a condom, motherfucker. Seriously. How many times have you girls out there, you ladies, been with a guy, I don't wear no rubbers, but you're on the birth control, right? How many times have we heard a guy say to a woman, oh my God, you got yourself pregnant? No, see, that takes two. You're the one who didn't want to wear a rubber and you didn't want to pay for my birth control and I work for Hobby Lobby, so there's your sign. Now you're going to give me $900 for an abortion, dumbass, because I ain't having no baby with you. Seriously, this is the way it works. So look, I got my views. You all know what they are. I don't think anybody should pay for anybody else to have babies or have babies artificially in any way. I don't think getting pregnant is a right. I don't think having children is a right. And I don't think that being infertile in any way or having fertility issues is life-threatening in any way. And therefore, if you really, 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 really want kids, you do have options. You pay for it yourself if you want your own children from your sperm, your egg, whatever you got to do. It is painful, I'll give you that. I'm told it's very painful. IVF is not fun. But you don't need to have it covered under insurance. It should be something like cosmetic surgery. You know, I don't like the way my boobs look, but insurance ain't going to pay to fix them. Got to do that out of pocket. And with the millions of women out there who manage to have breast surgery every year and pay for it out of pocket, I would think the IVF folks could do it too. And here's my other question that I'm going to leave you with. If you can't afford the IVF out of pocket, are you going to be able to afford to feed, clothe, educate, and house your child? You're going to be able to provide health insurance for them? Or is it just going to be one of those other kids that I'll never meet that I'm going to have to pay to support with my taxes? That's disconcerting as well. Okay, Thursday's show is going to be extremely personal. I'm very angry. Some of you on Facebook have already seen why I am angry. And I'm going to do a show about it and tell you what my next steps are. And it has to do with the medical billing, the family practice that overbilled my husband for his annual checkup and had no time to actually diagnose him with what was actually wrong with him, which we now know what is wrong with him, and it's very minor and it's easily treatable. So Thursday is going to be a very special show. And then we are coming down to the end of this season of Political Paula. I'm getting ready to go on I think it's going to be about a 6 or 7 week hiatus. And then I'll be back in July for a few new shows. So I'll see you back here on Thursday. Have a good day, everybody. Can't wait to read the comments on this one. Political Paula, out.